जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन
यमुना तीरावनचारि
यमुना तीरावनचारि
यमुना तीरावनचारि
यमुना तीरावनचारि
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन ब्रज
यमुना तीरावनचारि यमुना तीरावनचारि
यमुना तीरावनचारि
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jai Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai.
Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
जय कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान्
सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you for taking out your time and coming to attend this Gita class. We are continuing our discussion from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 6 entitled Dhyana Yoga. In this chapter, Krishna is explaining the various limbs of Ashtanga Yoga, how a yogi progresses in his path of perfection, all the way from Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam to Samadhi. And Krishna has explained many wonderful concepts here, which are equally applicable for our devotional practices also. This path of Ashtanga Yoga, which we are seeing, it is a path of great struggle. The yogi has to go to forest first of all, endure all the hardships, heat, cold, whatever he gets as fruits and roots he eats. So the path of spirituality is not an easy path. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas, this process of bhakti yoga which we are able to practice, it is the easiest one, custom made for people of Kali Yuga. Otherwise, it was not possible for people of Kali Yuga to practice this highest process of spirituality, of karma, jnana, ashtanga and bhakti. Krishna again and again, he describes how bhakti is the best. Of all the yogis, bhakti yogi is the best. Of all the jnanis, the jnana yogi, who ultimately becomes bhakti yogi, he is the best. Yogi Bhunam Janamanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. The jnanis, when they achieve perfection, they come to devotional service. In the last verse of this chapter, Krishna explains, Yoginam api sarvesham mad gaten antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktamo matah. Of all the different yogis, one who worships me, he is the best. So this path of bhakti yoga, it is the best path, and whatever we are hearing is to make us realize what we have already achieved. Generally, people, they hear about something and then they desire to achieve that. This process of bhakti yoga is so special. We have already achieved it. Now we have to understand what we have achieved. Kya mil gaya hai? So that is the beauty of this bhakti yoga. By mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have already received the highest. Now what we are doing is, we are trying to realize what we have received. Otherwise, if we don't realize what we have received, we may bargain it for something lesser. Because if somebody doesn't know what he has or she has, and somebody says, okay, I have something better. And if somebody has diamond and somebody says, oh, what is this? This is ordinary stone, I have gold. So if somebody doesn't know the value of diamond, they may barter it for gold, thinking that, okay, gold is so very wonderful. But they don't know what they are losing. So whatever we are hearing, it is to make us understand what we have received. And in this beautiful, 21 days, we are offering Chandan to Lord. And we have heard the story of Madhavendra Puri, how he struggled so much. All the way from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri, he was walking. He was not thinking. It is so very troublesome. Pragad premere swabhava achar nij dukha vignadira nokare vichar. When you are in love with somebody, then you don't count the problems and all the pains and difficulties one goes through in serving that person. So that is the beauty of spirituality. That is the beauty of bhakti yoga. So the more we realize, okay, this is the most important thing we have received, and when we connect ourselves to the Lord, fall in love with the Lord, then all the other pains of chanting every day, reading, coming for Gita classes, sometimes serving, it becomes a blissful experience. So thank you all the devotees for coming every day, every week. Every week, all of you are there. Practically 1.5 hours, 2 hours, we are there discussing. Okay, so we'll continue from verse number 30. 30, right? 29th ho gaya na? Yeah, 29th was done.
30.
Okay, we'll recite this verse. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra
Yomam prasati sarvatra
sarvam cha mayi pashyati
sarvam chai pasati
tasyaham na pranashyami
tasyanam na prasami
sa cha me na pranashyati.
charmena prasati.
Somebody can do translation. This is working?
For one who For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor he is ever lost to me.
Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, one who sees me everywhere, and sarvam cha mai pashyati, sees everything in me. Tasya aham na pranashyami, I am never lost to that person, and sacha me na pranashyati, nor is he ever lost to me. This is a very, very beautiful, loving expression of Krishna's affection for his devotees, for such devotees who are seeing him everywhere. So many things we'll be discussing in this verse. Prabhupada writes, a person in Krishna consciousness certainly sees Lord Krishna everywhere and he sees everything in Krishna. So basically, in this verse, Krishna is speaking about a very, very intimate relationship he has with his devotees. Anybody who is practicing this process of Krishna consciousness, he is very, very deeply and inseparably connected to the Lord. Nobody can separate a devotee from Krishna, whatever situations they may be. That's why bhakti is called as apratihata. Apratihata means it cannot be obstructed by any obstacles. Anything in this world cannot stop one from practicing bhakti, however difficult situations may be. If somebody says, no, I have this problem, I can't practice bhakti, it is not possible that any obstacle of this world will stop us from practicing bhakti, because bhakti is apratihata. It can happen in any situation, by anyone, by a child also, by an old man, even by animals. They can also practice bhakti. The famous example is Gajendra. We have heard the story of Gajendra.
Hari.
And Kalia, he was a snake, envious living entity, but still he became devotee of the Lord. So therefore, Krishna says, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, one who sees me everywhere. So how can someone see Krishna everywhere? Okay, before we start discussing, any thoughts on this? How to see Krishna everywhere? When we hear this word, what comes to the mind? How can I see Krishna in the world?
Eyes of the mind.
हाँ जी?
मन की आंखों से.
मन की आंखों से देखेंगे. Okay. मतलब we are imagining that okay, Krishna is present here. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu ji. सोचने को मत लगाइए आप.
विश्वास that is there, वो हर एक में है. जैसे
अच्छा, विश्वास है.
होना चाहिए जैसे
Everywhere.
को था कि
Okay,
हमने
ठीक
में भी
है.
है.
I'll just give you a simple example. Those of you, many of you have kids. If you see the slippers of your child, क्या याद आता है? You are not seeing the slipper. What are you remembering? Child. Why? Why this happens? Because of love. So that is the secret of seeing Krishna everywhere. If we are in love with somebody, anything related to that person will remind us of that person. So Prabhupada would tell that if you see my specs, he would tell his disciples. One time, one disciple asked him, Prabhupada, what it means to see Krishna everywhere? So Prabhupada gave this simple example that when you see my specs, what do you remember? So they said, Prabhupada, we remember you. So that Prabhupada said, that's the way we learn to see Krishna everywhere, because of spontaneous love for Krishna. Now that love may not be there, so we have to consciously do it. स्थावर जंगम देखी ना देखी तार मूर्ति सर्वत्र है निज इष्ट देव स्फूर्ति. When a devotee of the Lord sees a living entity or a non-living entity of this world, just like the trees and the plants and the mountains, he is not seeing Krishna. He is not seeing trees and the plants and the mountains. He is seeing Krishna. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra. So how to see Krishna when we are drinking water? How to see Krishna in that water? Krishna is the taste. Who said that? Okay. Krishna himself says in the 7th chapter, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. Is there taste in water? Water to tasteless hota hai. But Krishna is saying, I am the taste of water. निर्जल एकादशी के नेक्स्ट दिन पानी में टेस्ट आता है. That day nothing is more attractive than water. So that's the taste. If water is not there, we can't taste anything practically. If something is really dry, just like if something is made and it is really dry, we can't even taste that object, that dish. So when we see water, okay, how to see Krishna when we are seeing the moon and the sun? Krishna says they are the eyes of Krishna. So that's how this entire 10th chapter of Krishna, of this Bhagavad Gita, it is the opulence of the Absolute. How to see Krishna everywhere. Please take out 10th chapter, 40th verse. Or 41st, last verse. In that, Krishna says, O Arjun, whatever beautiful, splendorous, attractive things you are seeing in this world, they are just coming from the spark of my splendor. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam. This is 40th? 41. We'll recite this. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam. Srimad urjitam eva va. Tattadeva vagachatvam. Mama tejo amsha sambhavam. Translation, please.
Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
All the beautiful, glorious, splendorous creation, everything attractive comes from Krishna. But not everything attractive takes you to Krishna, So it is very, very important to understand this. Whatever we see in this world, it is all coming from Krishna. That's how we should remind ourselves. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. And then second line is Sarvam chamai pashyati. How to see Krishna, everything in Krishna? In the sense that everything is the energy of Krishna. Everything is coming from Krishna. So in that sense, everything is in Krishna. Krishna says in 10th chapter 8th verse this principle. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha matta sarvam pravartate. Everything comes from me. So this is how a devotee should learn to see Krishna everywhere. And to cultivate this vision, you have to practice it. We have to sometime practice it exclusively while we are doing our chanting. While doing meditation, while our chanting the Hare Krishna mantra regularly. We have to do it exclusively sometimes, that I am seeing Krishna in this name. Practically the name of the Lord and the name is non-different. When we take the name of somebody, that name and the person is different, right? But for Krishna it is same. Namakari Bahudha Nija Sarva Shakti. Krishna has manifested all his energy in his names. Namachintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddhau Nitya Muktau Abhinnatvat Namanaminau. Abhinnatva. It is non-different. Nam and Nami. The name and the person, they are non-different. So when we are doing our daily meditation, daily japa, we have to put our endeavor, all our hearts. That's the most important part of our devotional practices. Whatever we are doing here, hearing, associating with devotees, taking prasad, doing seva sometimes, it is to make us more and more committed to the practice of chanting. Because that is the only thing which will take us to the spiritual world. That is the most important, basic, foundational principle of our spiritual practices. Generally, people in this world, they talk about mindfulness a lot. Mindfulness means it is a conscious awareness of what we are doing, why we are doing, awareness of things around us. That's mindfulness. And we have to be mindful. We should know what are we doing, what are we thinking. People say we should be aware of our thoughts. Why we are thinking something, what we are thinking. That's mindfulness. So in this verse, Krishna says, don't just be aware of the things around you. Be aware of the supreme reality also. That is Krishna. That is what he is saying. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chamai pashyati. This is a very, very important thing to understand. This concept of seeing Krishna everywhere. In this world, we have so many misperceptions. All of us have seen mirage as we are driving and there is water on the road somewhere at a distance and we know it is not there. Any other examples of things we see but we don't believe? We are seeing with our eyes but we know that it is not there.
The sky and
The sky and the ocean meets at the horizon. Hota hai? Nahi hota hai. If you see the two tracks of a railway track, two lines, at the distance they appear to meet, right? But it doesn't happen. So these are the perceptions, misperceptions. And by our intelligent, we understand, no, it is not the case. So the intelligent is needed to deal with the misperceptions. But there is a deeper understanding of misconception. You know what is a misconception people have in this world? Misconception people have is all these things are mine. My property, my bank balance, my house, my car. This is my property. That is misconception. That this is mine. There is a Sanskrit very common word, mamata. Mamata means वो खाली माँ की ममता नहीं होती है. Everybody of us we have mamta. Mamta means attachment. मेरा है. Ahamta and mamta. These are the two very, very powerful words. Ahamta, this is me, and mamata, this is mine. Srila Prabhupada would say, what is there for us to renounce? If somebody is walking by SBI bank and says, I renounce this SBI bank. आपका था क्या? It was not yours to renounce. So everything in this world, it is the property of Krishna. Krishna says, Bhumi apo analo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankar itiyam me bhinna prakritirashtadha. All these 8 energies, 8 elements, they are mine. So everything is coming from God and everything is property of God. One time, Akbar and Birbal, they were discussing. So Birbal said, Oh Jahapana, you are so great. Actually, you can do something which even God cannot do. So Akbar, he was a very God-fearing person. He became offended. He said, how can you, insult my God like this? You have to prove your statement, otherwise you will be killed. So Birbal said, oh my Lord, what's the big thing? You can throw somebody out of your kingdom. God cannot do this. You know why? Because everything is kingdom of God only. Whatever you see in this world, it is all kingdom of God. So everything is coming from God. And everything is property of God. So that's what Krishna says. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam. Whatever we see in this world, they are all coming from the Lord. And when we see things separately from God, Prabhupada writes, such a person may appear to see all separate manifestations of nature, but in each and every instance he is conscious of Krishna, that this is energy of Krishna. When we see something separate from God, if we think this is mine and this is God's, just like in the Satya Yuga it is said, people were so religious, so pious. They would practically give all their earnings to the Lord and they would keep very little for themselves. Then Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga came. Then people, they became little less religious. Then they thought, why to give everything to God? 50% to God, 50% for us. In Dwapar Yuga, they thought, okay, this is also too much. So what they started doing, they would draw a line and they would throw money up. Whatever falls on this side of the line, it is ours. Whatever falls on the other side, it is God's. Kali Yuga people are more intelligent. They throw the money up in there and say, oh God, whatever you can catch. Baki sab apna hai. So when we think something separately from God, this is mine and this is not mine, this is God's. भगवान आपके लिए इतना ही है, वो आपका property है. Don't encroach in my property. But everything is coming from God only. So when we think ये मेरा नहीं है और ये मेरा है, then it creates fear. भयम द्वितीया अभिनिवेशतः स्यात् ईशातपेतस्य विपर्यय अस्मृति. This is a very famous verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhaya. What's the origin of fear? Dvitiya abhinivesh. When we see things in two. Okay, ये मेरा है और ये भगवान का है. Then it creates fear. But because we forget that nothing belongs to me. Everything belongs to God. And what we have to do is, whatever we have to use in service of the God. That is called as Yukta Vairagya. There are many types of renunciation. There is Yukta Vairagya. There is Falgu Vairagya. There is something called as Markat Vairagya. There is something called as Samshan Vairagya. You know what is Samshan Vairagya? How many of you attended funerals? Many of you must have. So when you are in funeral, in that graveyard or सब, feelings of renunciation थोड़ा अपने आप आ जाती हैं. क्या रखा है संसार में, देखो सब मोह माया, अंत में सब ऐसा ही होने वाला है, सब जल के भस्म होने वाला है. एंड ऐसा बात करते करते फिर बाहर आते हैं, ये नया मूवी निकला है ना, कौन सा मूवी निकला है, देख क्या है क्या. That Samshan Vairagya means that which doesn't last long. थोड़े समय के लिए Samshan Vairagya. Markat Vairagya, that is monkey renunciation. Monkeys, they seem to be very renounced. They stay in jungle, they stay on the trees, they just eat fruits and whatever they get, don't have clothes also. बेचारे कितने विरक्त जीव हैं. But every monkey is surrounded by dozen of she monkeys. That is called as Markat Vairagya. Dikhava ka Vairagya. Show renunciation. We are not supposed to do that also. Then there is something called as Falgu Vairagya. There is a river called as Falgu. सुना है ना? गया में. So the river is not seen because it flows underground. On the surface it is all dry. But the river is flowing full flow underground. Similarly, some people, what they do, they don't want the things of this world, saying that we don't want to do anything with this world. We are completely virakta. इस संसार की मोह माया के परे. But that is called as Falgu Vairagya because you are supposed to use whatever belongs to Krishna in service of Krishna. One time, you know what happened? One devotee brought a picture of one very great saint of India. And the saint, he had a pile of money in front of him and he was doing like this. Disgusted. Don't want to see also. So they said, Prabhupada, just see, this saint is so renounced it seems. Prabhupada said, take one more picture. Bring all the money in front of me and I'll do like this. I'll use everything in Krishna's service. I will not go away from money. Because money is the property of Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan ki hai. So if Lakshmi is not used in service of Krishna, that is Falgu Vairagya. And if we use it in service of Krishna, that is called as Yukta Vairagya. अनासक्तस्य विषयान् यथार्हम् उपयुञ्जतः निर्बन्धः कृष्ण सम्बन्धे युक्त वैराग्य उच्यते. Yukta Vairagya means I'll use the property of Krishna in service of Krishna. We can use that only when we see that everything is coming from Krishna. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. Everything is Krishna's property. Sarvam chamai pashyati. So we should not think this is my devotional life and this is my material life. When we go to office, to our business, that is my material life. And when we come for Friday class, Bhagavad Gita, that is spiritual life. We don't have to compartmentalize that because most of the times we are in material life only. So that means we are very little amount of time we are spending in spiritual moments. So what can be done? अभी सब मोह माया करके छोड़ते सकते नहीं है. We have to keep on working also, maintaining family, doing everything. So what we have to do is, we have to understand no matter what is my location, I will try to connect everything with Krishna. आवाज आ रही है. Yeah, there is
AC का one.
AC नहीं.
Red.
Okay, no problem. So that's how we have to turn our entire life as the arena where we can connect to the Lord. Whatever happens in our life, we should see them as teachers. The events of our life are our teachers. They teach us how to see Krishna everywhere. So that is what we have to understand. This entire world is the arena, and the events which are happening, they are the teachers. And in this way, we have to offer our love to Krishna. So therefore, when people they turn to God or they turn to meditation, sometimes they turn because जीवन में बहुत problem चल रहा है. Outside world is troubling me, or sometimes my mind is troubling me. That's why I'm turning to meditation. But meditation can do much more. It can connect us to the Supreme Divinity. It is not just to keep our mind peaceful, or it is not just to make our surroundings peaceful. It is to connect us to God. Unfortunately, most of the times people they get stuck in the interim advantage they get by practice of meditation. That's why many of these yoga societies they flourish. Why? Because the side effects are so powerful. It brings peace of mind. One becomes healthy. Do all the asanas and pranayam. One becomes healthy. One does some meditation. Mind becomes peaceful. But what's the goal of all this? That they are not understanding. The goal is to ultimately connect to the Lord. That is the missing link. So there are two things we should always remember. Am I with Krishna? Or is Krishna with me? These are two things. Is Krishna with me? This is a very high level of understanding. Krishna is always with me. Whatever I do, Krishna is always with me. But at least at our level, we can work at this second level. Am I with Krishna? That means, am I leading my life according to instructions of Krishna? That is very important. Am I with Krishna? Because Krishna is always there with us, guiding us, but we are not following the instructions of Krishna. So Krishna says, if somebody has these two understandings, Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam chamai pashyati, then next two lines happen. Tasya aham na pranashyami. They are never lost to me. And sachamena pranashyati. I am never lost to them. In 9th chapter, 31st verse, Krishna uses this word there also. Pranashyati. Sachamena pranashyati. This pranashyati word comes there also. Very, very famous verse where Krishna is telling Arjun, please declare boldly that my devotee will never perish. Recite this. Shipram bhavati dharmatma sashva shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Translation please.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes.
Name bhakta pranashyati, my devotee will never perish. Here also Krishna says, Sacha me na pranashyati. Krishna is making this declaration again and again. If you connect to Krishna, Krishna will never leave us. This relationship will never be destroyed. We are fearful about losing our relatives or our loved ones because nothing is permanent in this world. But this relationship, when we develop relation with Krishna, that relationship is permanent. Even if you want to break, Krishna will not break the relationship. In this relationship, there is no divorce. You can't leave Krishna. In the story of Krishna in the 10th canto, when Putana came and she came to give milk thinking that she will feed poison to Krishna, and Krishna started sucking the breast of Putana, and he drank all the milk, all the poison, and then started drinking the life air of Putana. Sa muncha muncha alammiti prabhashini nishpidyamana khila jiva marmani. And she's crying loudly, Munch, munch, oh child, leave me, leave me. And Krishna was pressing all the vital points of Putana. And one of the acharyas says, she's saying, leave me, but Krishna के dictionary में leave me है ही नहीं. एक बार कृष्णा पकड़ लेते हैं तो छोड़ते नहीं हैं. That's the beauty of Krishna. It is one way journey. एक बार किसी ने यहाँ पे आके लेक्चर सुन लिया है, प्रसाद खा लिया है, सेवा कर लिया है, डिवोटीज का संग ले लिया है, then Krishna notes it and his diary is never lost. No data is deleted. He always keeps in mind, एक बार आया था ये प्रोग्राम में, and Krishna makes a track of it. So that's how Krishna, although he is far, but he is very near. There is a verse in Ishopanishad which says, Tadejati tannejati tadadure tadavantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bahyataha. Krishna is near, Krishna is far. He is inside, he is outside. How is Krishna inside? He is there as Paramatma. How is outside? He is there in every atom practically. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. He is there in every atom. So Krishna is everywhere. So how Krishna works, it is so very wonderful. He works in inconceivable ways. For some of us, Krishna has entered our life in so very inconceivable way. How many of us had thought that after coming to 30s or 40s, I'll become devotee of Krishna? We had never planned it, but Krishna had planned for us. So that's how Krishna keeps planning for every one of us. So one time Abhishek Prabhu was telling me, can please tell me your story? Tell everybody. Please give the mic. Our Abhishek Prabhu has a very interesting story, how he came.
Hare Krishna. So I got this book, the Bhagavad Gita book, 13 years ago in a train, and that book was lying in the home unopened. इसका plastic भी नहीं निकला था, वैसे का वैसे ही था. And this class has been going on here, and there was a 2-day course which we enrolled. I enrolled. My wife told me, should go, be interested. And thereafter, I just realized that this book has come to me for a reason, and it also came out after 13 years for a reason. So, there is no, as I say, there are no coincidences, there are only providences. So,
and the person who gave you a book?
The person who gave me a book, this book, so that's also this. The person who gave me a book used to be my client at some point of time. And I met him in the train. By that time, he had become Prabhuji in saffron clothes, if I remember correctly. And he had left everything. He said that, मैं ये सब छोड़ दिया. And it was just, I saw a person whom I knew for many years. and a person whom I would have never thought I would meet in this form, and who would give me this and I think a few other books which he gave. So I mean, at that point of time I just took it gladly. I didn't know what to do with the book. बोला ठीक है, मतलब रख लेते हैं. And गीता है, सब मूवी में बोलते हैं गीता पे हाथ रखते हैं तो take it. Okay, so that is it. But yeah, I think it is as I said, it's just providence. It has to come at that point of time.
Thank you, Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada would say these books are like time bombs. When they will explode, only Lord knows. One time in one country, somebody had put a case on ISKCON, and this judge, he had tough time understanding what is this ISKCON. So then he told, okay, let me read their books, at least we'll understand something. So he got Bhagavad Gita, and then he started reading. He didn't understand anything, but he thought, at least let me keep the book, I'll read sometime again. And then after a few weeks or months, the case was over, and then this book was still lying down. After 10 years, his son, he saw this interesting book which was not dusted for many years. He picked up, he started reading, he became devotee, he joined. So that's how these books, they have this power. So when we read them, we naturally get transformed. So that's why Prabhupada and all the devotees, they are always working. Just put these books in the homes of people. They will transform their lives for sure. So that's how Lord is working. And Krishna is working for us continuously. We may not understand how he is working, but still he is working. And his plans, they reveal slowly. We should not be impatient when dealing with Krishna. We should not have this thought कि पता नहीं भगवान मेरे हिसाब से क्यों नहीं काम करते हैं. Prayer किया तो आंसर मिलना चाहिए ना. It's like one time one person went to Krishna and said, Krishna, what is 1 crore for you? Krishna said, 1 rupee. Krishna, can you please give me your 1 rupee? Krishna said, can you wait for 1 minute? Yes, Prabhu, you had a question. Anup Prabhuji.
I was just going to add to this. This bomb was at our house for 45 years.
Oh, really? 45 years आपके घर में भगवत गीता है? Wow. देखिए, आप तो 13 ही बोल रहे हैं इधर. 45 वाले भी बैठे हैं.
I recently bombed my children's home. I put 1 in each.
Wonderful. So that's how these books are really dangerous. They can transform lives. So that's the job of a devotee. In fact, next verse, it is a very, very special verse we'll be discussing next time, where Krishna says, you know what this highest devotee, highest yogi does? He's not just interested in his own perfection. This devotee works to give Krishna to others. That is the highest welfare activity. That is what Srila Prabhupada is doing. All the devotees are doing. And Krishna is really working for us. And we should never complain कि क्यों हो गया, कैसा हो गया, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है मेरे साथ. I've told you this story one time. There was a person, he brought a horse. And this was a very, very wonderful horse. And his son, he was training this new horse. And then this boy fell down from the horse. When he brought the horse, everybody came. Wow, you got a new horse. You are so very lucky. And then बिचारा उसके son got fractured. Again people came, अरे बुरा हो गया, बेचारे लड़के का पाँव टूट गया. He said, no problem. Whatever happens is by the will of the Lord. After some time, this king, he announced that our neighboring country has attacked and we need more soldiers. So all the youngsters, they will be employed in the army. And they were employing everybody. But bichara, this young boy, his leg was broken, so he could not go. So all the villagers again came and said, Aiye, beti. All the villagers again came and said, "अरे अच्छा हो गया, आपके लड़के का पाँव टूट गया, बच गए आप. Your son didn't go." So this person said, "अरे आपका कब तक चले गए? अच्छा हो गया, बुरा हो गया, अच्छा हो गया, बुरा हो गया. What is this?" It's all happening by the will of the Lord. What we see as problems, they are the plans of the Lord. And Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to see everything as a plan of the Lord. That's what we have to learn actually. The more we advance in spiritual life, the more we give mature responses to the problems of our life. So if you want to understand how much we have advanced, just see your responses in difficult situations. Are we disturbed? Are we anxious? Or we may become disturbed, but how quickly we come back to the normal state? So all these things, they are sufficient to tell us how advanced we are in spiritual life. How attentively we are chanting. Because everything is directly proportional to our chanting. Krishna will show mercy depending on how we commit ourselves to the process. If our process is not strongly, happening, then the result will not come. So we have to understand that Krishna, he always puts us in difficult situations so that we can become better version of ourselves. Krishna never leaves anyone. टेस्ट तो सबके जीवन में आता है. एंड टेस्ट आता है जब भी हम पढ़ते हैं. बिना टेस्ट के तो पढ़ते नहीं है. मॉडर्न एजुकेशन सिस्टम वाले हैं आप सब. Krishna tests everyone. Even Rukmini Devi, few days back it was Rukmini Dwadashi, the appearance of Rukmini Devi in this world. So Rukmini Devi, her brother Rukmi, he had arranged for her marriage with Shishupal. And she didn't want to get married to Shishupal. She was in love with Krishna because she had heard about Krishna so much. Saupashrutya mukundasya rupa virya gunashriya grihagatay giyamane tammene sadrishimpati. Upashrutya. What would happen is, the great saints would come in the palace of her father, Bhishmak. Bhishmak was the father of Rukmini. Narad Muni would come, other sages would come, they would glorify Krishna. What they would glorify? Rupa, Virya, Guna and Shriya. They would glorify the beauty of Krishna, wealth of Krishna, strength of Krishna, the opulences of Krishna. Tammene sadrishim pati. And just by hearing all these things, she decided, शादी करूंगी तो इनसे ही करूंगी. शादी नहीं, विवाह. And then Rukmi, he was envious of Krishna. He arranged for her marriage with Shishupal. And then she didn't want to get married. And she wrote a letter. Beautiful letter. The first love letter of the history. किसी को लेटर लिखना है? नहीं, अभी तो यहाँ पे कोई होप है नहीं किसी का. छोटे वालों का है. So she writes beautiful letter. It has only 7 verses. That is a letter par excellence. And many great saintly acharyas, they have given big commentary on every verse. कि प्रेम पत्र ऐसा होना चाहिए. श्रुत्वा गुणान् भुवन सुंदर शृण्वतां ते निर्विश्य कर्ण विवरै हरतो अंगतापम् रूपं दृशां दृशिमताम् अखिलार्थलाभम् त्वयि अच्युता विशति चित्तम् अपत्रपं मे. So all of us, we are in this 21st century, so we may not know. For a girl to write a letter to a young boy 5,000 years back, it was unheard of. It was not possible. So she's saying, shamelessly, O Krishna, I am writing this letter. Apatrapam me. Because I have heard about you. Shrutva. आपके बारे में सुना है हमने. O Bhuvana Sundar, O most beautiful personality of the world, Shinvatam te, I have heard about you. And she says, who is that girl of a noble family whose mind will not be attracted to your glories? Oh my Lord, please come and marry me. And don't think that I will control you, because in the previous times you have appeared as Narsimhadev. Who can control you? Because of a person, a boy fears that अरे ये proposal भेज रही है, that means if I marry her, she may control me. She says, no, 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 I will not control you. Please don't allow me to be carried away by Shishupal. Just like a lion doesn't allow the jackal to take away his prey, please don't allow Shishupal to take me. Oh my Lord, I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you the way how you should come and kidnap me. She tells the story. कि कैसे मुझे उठा के लेके जाना है. And she says, please take me and marry me in Rakshasa style. There are different types of vivaha also. Gandharva vivaha, Brahma vivaha. There is something called as Rakshasa vivaha. Rakshasa vivaha means when the boy comes and kidnaps the girl. पहले भी ऐसा होता था. So she says, please come and kidnap me. I'll tell you how you should kidnap me. The day before the marriage, the girl goes to the temple of Girija. That time, none of my family members will be there. You please come and you kidnap me at that time. And don't worry, you will not have to kill any of my relatives because nobody will be there. But if she says, oh my Lord, if you don't come, all these are beautiful verses, I am not reciting those verses. बहुत अच्छे सुंदर verses हैं. And then she says, oh my Lord, but if you don't come, then you know what I'll do. Yasyangri pankajaraja snapanam mahanto vanchanti umapatirivatma tamopahatyai yarehi ambujakshanalabheya bhavat prasadam Jahayama shunvrata krishan shatajanma bhisyat. Yasyangri pankajaraja. If I could not get the dust of your lotus feet, O my Lord, you know what I'll do? That dust is even adored by Lakshmi Devi. Lord Shiva puts that dust on his head. If I don't get that dust, I will do tapasya. And I will give up my life, again take birth, again do tapasya, again give up my life. I am ready to do this for 100 lifetimes. But I want only you. That is the determination of a devotee. So then why Krishna will not come? And interestingly, अभी कल विवाह है, आज लेटर भेजे, and she is not even aware कि कृष्णा आएंगे नहीं आएंगे. Next day morning, 4 बज गए. It is Brahma Muhurat time. Still no news from Krishna. And then the messenger Brahmana comes back and he tells Krishna is coming. But still Krishna is coming, but still Krishna has not come yet. She goes to temple of Girija, Durga Devi, and she is looking with her pallu on her head. Somehow she is trying to find Krishna. She has not seen Krishna. I don't know how she will be identifying. But that's how the great devotees are. They know who is Krishna. And then Krishna for sure he comes and he picks up Rukmini, puts on his chariot and leaves. And all the kings, they are just standing there. They could not do anything. They were shocked. And then all the kings, they start attacking Krishna. Jarasandha, Shishupal, Rukmi, with their big army. So now Rukmini Devi, she's just a young girl. Maybe, 11, 12 years old. Not more than that. She's a very young girl. And she sees a huge army in front of her. She gets anxious. Kya hoga? And then Krishna speaks a very beautiful word. He says, "Oh Rukmini, don't worry. Very soon, your army will defeat all these armies." Your army means Krishna's army. Can anybody tell me what is the secret behind this? Krishna's army was also there. Balramji had brought his army. And Krishna is saying, your army will defeat all these soldiers in very short time. Tavakai shatravam balam. आपकी सेना है. That means, अभी तक विवाह भी नहीं हुआ है. Krishna is ready to share all his opulences with his devotees. He only expects one thing: surrender. Have faith, and Krishna will give everything. Your army will defeat these soldiers. So that's how Krishna is such a wonderful God. He is ready. Yes, he expects only one thing: please come and surrender, and have faith in me. I will do everything for you. My all my opulences, my kingdom, my property, everything is yours. He's not an insecure God. He's just waiting for that one surrender. Like Vibhishan, surrender. So therefore, when Krishna says, Tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati, sometimes we may walk in a way which is not right. We may make mistakes in our life, but Krishna is so expert, he can use those mistakes also and bring out something good out of it. Just like there is a story in 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. There was a great sage, Kashyap. Suna hai Kashyap ke baare mein? Kashyap Muni. How many wives he had? Diti or Aditi do hi sune hai, but he had 13 wives. Diti and another 12 daughters, 12 sisters. They were all married to Kashyap. So Daksha, he married 13 of his daughters to Kashyap. And everybody had children, and Diti had no child. Diti, one time she becomes overwhelmed with desire to have a child. And she approaches Kashyap in the evening time. And Kashyap is absorbed in his sadhana, his yajna, his rituals. And Diti, she says, "Oh great sage, I want a child." So Kashyap says, "Please wait for one muhurta only." One muhurta is 48 minutes. This is not an auspicious time to beget child. Evening is a very inauspicious time to beget child. Because in this time, Lord Shiva is moving around with his associates. And if he finds somebody doing this sinful activity in the evening time, it is sinful. What he does? He puts one of the associates in the womb. So therefore, please wait. But she is so very impatient, she says no. And ultimately Kashyap gives her a child. And who are the two children? Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So apparently Diti made the biggest mistake of her life. But Lord used it to take the avatar of Varahadev and Narsimhadev. He used that mistake and did the best out of it. So that's how God is. So what Lord expects is, please try to do what He says. What God wants me to do. There are various paths, just like the path of karma. It is work-based. You do your work, you will get the results. The path of Gyan is knowledge-based. You cultivate knowledge and you attain Brahman. The path of Ashtanga is skill-based. How expert you are in all the yogas and asanas. Sometimes some people, they are very expert in asanas. Some of you may be doing some asanas. ऐसा difficult भी आसन रहते हैं, मयूर आसन, शीर्षासन. It is skill based. But path of devotion is surrender based. When we surrender to the Lord, then Lord rewards. Submit. Submission is a very, very important principle of spiritual life. That is what Krishna says in the 4th chapter, 34th verse. The path of spirituality begins with submission. When we submit to the will of the Lord, then Lord reveals. 4th chapter, 34th verse. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upaddekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Translation please.
Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth.
It begins with pranipat, surrender, submission. In the outside world, it begins with method of conquest. In the outside world is show your pride, how big you are, how great you are. That's how you prove yourself. But in spiritual world, how to conquer? Submit. The Lord is pleased by submission. Lord is controlled by submission. The gopis, they come and they say, Krishna, if you dance, we'll give you sweet. And Krishna is dancing. Krishna, if you sing, we'll give you butter. And Krishna is singing. Gopi bhi stobhito nrityat bhagavan balavat pachit udgayati kvachan mugdhas tadvasho daru yantravat. He becomes daru yantravat. He becomes like a wooden doll in the hands of his devotees. So Krishna is completely controlled by the submission of his devotees. It is described in Bhagavatam how the devotee controls the Lord. Krishna controls his devotees. Devotees also control the Lord. Just like a chaste wife controls the faithful husband. Sat striya sat patim yatha. Sat striya sat pati. A chaste wife controls the faithful husband. Similarly, the devotees of the Lord, they control the Lord. Whatever the Lord wants, the devotee wants, the Lord has to do. Because devotee has completely surrendered. So that is interesting part of Krishna consciousness. Lord is submissive to the will of the devotees also. It comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. After Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he takes sannyas. He wanted to go to Vrindavan. And the devotees didn't want Mahaprabhu to leave them. So they start thinking how to keep Mahaprabhu here. So they tell one of the other great Acharya, great devotee, his name was Sarabham Bhattacharya. They say, can you please do something? So Sarabham Bhattacharya and another devotee, Ramanand Rai, they go and they tell, oh Lord, can you please wait till Janmashtami? After Janmashtami is done, then you can go. Okay, Janmashtami to 2-3 mahine bache hain, theek hai. He waits, Janmashtami is over, again they go. Mahaprabhu, can you please wait till Kartik? Kartik is a beautiful time. Please spend that time with us. Then you go. Then Kartik is gone. Mahaprabhu, now it is very cold in Vrindavan. Can you please wait for some more time? This Dole Yatra festival is coming in February. You attend that and then you go. Aji kali kore kare vividha upaye. Aaj jao, kal jao. And Krishna, it is described, Yadyapi swatantra prabhu nahe nivaran bhakta ichha vina prabhu na kore gaman. Krishna is supreme independent Lord. But if devotee is not giving permission, kaise jayenge? So that's how devotee controls the Lord, by his devotion. So how to achieve this vision of seeing Krishna everywhere? We have to cultivate this vision. Prabhupada writes in the purport. He says, a devotee, an intimate relation between the Lord and the devotee exists. In that stage, the living entity can never be annihilated, nor is the personality of Godhead ever out of sight of devotee. A devotee doesn't want to merge in Brahman. For him, merging in Brahman, it is hellish because seva is not there. A devotee, his eyes are full of the ointment of love. These are beautiful words. We'll recite this verse. Very famous verse from Brahma Samhita. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena Santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti Yam shama sundaram achintya guna swarupam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So in our senses, they become spiritual. That means when we start practicing this process of Krishna consciousness by chanting regularly, then our senses, they become spiritual. And the eyes, they are anointed with the salve of love. Then we can see Krishna everywhere. That's how we began. How the parents, they see a slipper of their child, they remember the child because they have love. Similarly, if we want to see Krishna everywhere, in the beginning we can intellectually say, okay, sun means the eye of the Lord, moon, eyes of the Lord, water, taste of water is Krishna. But this is just intellectual thing. The more we develop this salve of love by chanting regularly, the more we commit ourselves to the chanting, it will not happen so easily. It takes sometimes years or decades or maybe lifetimes depending on our intensity. But there is no other option. We have to practice it. And if we are sincere enough, and if Krishna desires, we can get tomorrow also. And if Krishna doesn't think that no, he is not practicing properly, okay, he may give after some time. Okay, so we'll stop here today. Any questions anybody has? Any questions or comments or thoughts?
Namaste, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I have two doubts. One is, maybe I missed the earlier part. How does Rukmini know that Krishna was Narasimha in the previous avatar? Is there any reference to that?
She knows Krishna is Supreme Lord. She knows that he is the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. And so many great devotees, they come, they recite the glories of Krishna. So she knows that he is the Supreme Lord.
Okay.
And although, because she is the eternal consort of Krishna, so her natural attachment is for Krishna only. So she says, okay, I want you.
Okay. And my second question is, when you said that whatever happens is God's will, so then where is the place of karma over there?
Destiny.
And the second part to that is, then when we are going through difficult periods, how can we say that God is willing something bad for us to happen?
Okay, thank you. Very, very important fundamental question. If everything is predestined, then where is the scope of karma or free will? Everything is predestined in the sense, if you book a flight ticket from Mumbai to Delhi, and you are on the flight in the air, so you are destined to reach Delhi. But if in the middle of the air somebody thinks, नहीं थोड़ा मजा नहीं आ रहा है, यहाँ से कूद जाते हैं. That may look very funny and weird, but that's what many times we do. Our destiny is fixed according to our previous actions. Our destiny is fixed. That okay, यहाँ से वहाँ जाना है. But what we do is we use our free will. That free will is given only to human beings. Animals, they don't have free will. Animals, they can't choose their actions. They are programmed to act in certain way. We humans can choose our actions, whether to act or not. And if we misuse our free will, we'll end up in a different destination. That is the understanding. Just like, chalo flight se to nahi, if somebody is on the train from Mumbai to Delhi, he is about to reach Delhi, but नहीं बीच में थोड़े स्टेशन पे अच्छा लग रहा है, उतर जाते हैं. Then he is at a different place. So therefore, according to our destiny, we are supposed to get something, and we get. But if we misuse, if somebody slaps us, so what are the options available? पहला slap ही में क्यों सहन नहीं कर सकते? So, there are two options. Okay, मैंने भी किसी को दिया रहेगा कृपा, इसलिए मुझ पे कृपा आ रही है. Let me tolerate. If we again retaliate, that means we have created another karma. बोले कब तक सहन करने का प्रभु जी? This is not the right way. That is individual to decide. when to react, when to retaliate. But that is just an example. All of us have been given this free will. And if we misuse the free will, we'll end up in a different place. Krishna, he never puts us in certain situations. We land up in certain situations because of our own previous actions. So Krishna is not responsible, he is responsive. He responds according to our actions, just like judge. If judge rewards somebody and punishes somebody, so somebody cannot complain, judge is partial. उसको तो 1 करोड़ का रिवॉर्ड दिया, इसको 4 साल जेल में भेजा, क्यों? It is the action of that person. So Krishna is not doing anything wrong in our lives. He is just giving the results of our actions through the nature of the material, through the agency of the material nature, Durga Devi. Okay. Any other questions anybody has? Any questions or comments? When we ask, 3 people get benefited. कौन से?
Me and all.
Vakta, Shrota and Prachakam. One who asks, one who answers and one who listens. So please ask. You should not feel shy. लोग क्या कहेंगे? हमको नहीं मालूम कि लोगों को भी नहीं मालूम है. So asking questions is a very, very important part. Whenever Srila Prabhupada, he would end the class and nobody would ask questions, later Prabhupada said, they were not a good crowd. Nobody asked a question. What is this? Okay. कोई प्रश्न नहीं है? देखो, कोई प्रश्न नहीं है मतलब 2 चीजें हो सकती हैं. या तो सब समझ गया है, या तो प्रभु जी ने क्लास अच्छा दिया है. अच्छा क्लास था प्रभु जी, सब अच्छा था. कुछ तो बताइए. नहीं, इतना अच्छा था कि कुछ याद ही नहीं आ रहा है. Yes, Madi, you had a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, the second option, I didn't understand. It means, as you said, that somebody can get down. आप कोई स्टेशन में उतर गए और घूम फिर के वापस ट्रेन में गए या नहीं,
ट्रेन निकल गई.
that also can be destiny only, na?
No, that is not our destiny. You booked the train and the destiny is fixed now. Your destiny is to reach the next station. That we have created a destiny by ourselves, by booking a ticket, right?
प्रभु जी को पता ही नहीं है कि वो हमारा डेस्टिनी है.
अरे आपने बुक किया ना टिकट.
अभी अभी प्रेजेंट लाइफ में पता ही नहीं है मेरा डेस्टिनी क्या है. Then I am taking that turn. How I can.
Then you have to refer to Bhagavad Gita. How to understand the situations of our life. When to respond, when to tolerate. We have to learn. That's what we are doing in our classes. We are learning when to tolerate, when to react. Arjuna was ready to tolerate. Krishna said no, react, fight. Parikshit was ready to. Parikshit, he tolerated and Krishna didn't say anything. Krishna accepted. So Parikshit, Krishna said, okay, your decision is right, tolerate. For Arjun, Krishna said, no, you have to fight. So when to fight, when to retaliate.
So Prabhuji, that means कि our destiny is very dynamic.
Yes, yes.
With the kind of act what we do.
Yes, we are the makers of our destiny. Our destiny is not fixed. It is just like you booked a ticket. That means you can reach that destination, but you are free to do so many things in between, right?
Prabhuji, it must not be destiny, it must be circumstance. How can you say destiny?
Because you booked the ticket, right? When you book ticket, that means you wanted to go to that place. But in between you thought, आज mood नहीं हो रहा है, इधर ही उतरते हैं. So that means the destiny which you yourself created, you are changing now. Okay, when somebody says भाग्य, भाग्य क्या होता है? We have created our bhagya by our actions. When we bought the ticket, that means we have created our bhagya of reaching the next destination. But I can change my destination, right? I can change my bhagya. So bhagya is our action. Our action decides our destiny. But if we use our free will or misuse our free will, okay, next destination, another place, another situation.
So then that is purushartha.
Our purusharth is only describing our reactions, right? Karma phal means we act, we get the reaction. That is making our bhagya. So what is so, मतलब इसमें ऐसा ना समझने वाली क्या बात है?
प्रभु जी, अगर मैंने लॉटरी का टिकट लिया,
हम्म,
लॉटरी का टिकट लिया, मुझे लॉटरी लगी या नहीं लगी, वो फिर
वो तो गैम्बलिंग है.
एग्जाम्पल दे रही हूँ।
डेस्टिनी.
मेरा अच्छा होगा या बुरा होगा, whatever I take decision, तब अच्छा फल मिले या बुरा फल मिले, that is my destiny, that is भाग्य.
Yes, but we have in the beginning we have done a wrong action. So how can we expect that okay bhagya अच्छा मिलेगा? So now if somebody wins the lottery, chalo. In lottery they may get 1 crore. But that act of taking that lottery ticket is sinful. So you may be getting the 1 crore lottery because of some previous pious activity. But what we have done is we have created another sinful activity by doing that gambling. So उसका फल फिर से भोगना पड़ेगा. So that's how all our actions. So we please understand how much complex our situation is. हम बेचारे चित्रगुप्त का क्या हाल होता होगा? इनको क्या देना है अभी, कैसे देना है? इतना बड़ा डेटा है इनके पास. Every moment. And we should not think, किसी ने देखा क्या? We didn't do anything wrong. Who is the witness? We have 12 witnesses. Every action has 12 witnesses. जानना चाहेंगे कौन है 12 witness हमारे? Please Google करिए. वो श्लोक आपको बुलवाना चाहता हूँ इसलिए. It is in Bhagavatam, it is not in Gita. SB 6:11, 6:142. 6th canto, 1st chapter, 42nd verse. First chapter ही है ना. सूर्यो अग्नि खम मरु देवः. वही है? वही है ना 6:142 है? Okay. Somebody please read that. Okay, ठीक है. मैं भी निकाल लेता हूँ. I'm not remembering that verse properly. सूर्यो अग्नि खम मरु देवः. What's the next line? सोम संध्या हनि दिशः कंकु स्वयं धर्म इति हियेते दह्यस्य साक्षिणः. ओके, साक्षी कौन कौन से हैं? सूर्यो अग्नि खम मरुद्देवः. ठीक है, ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ लीजिए. चलिए.
The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night, direction, water, land, and super soul himself all witnesses the activity of the living entity.
देखिए कुछ बच गया. सूर्य नहीं, हमने तो रात में किया. नाइट इज ऑल्सो देयर. ऑल द डायरेक्शंस आर देयर. एयर इज देयर. वाटर इज देयर. एंड आफ्टर ऑल, अबव ऑल, परमात्मा इज देयर. सब देख रहे हैं. सो एवरीथिंग इज रिकॉर्डेड बाय दीज 12 विटनेसेस. एंड देन वी गेट द resultant actions, resultant reaction according to our actions. So the process of Krishna consciousness means try to do those actions which will not give reaction. A person, a soldier killing hundreds on the border, and that same soldier killing one civilian in the kingdom. The act may be the same, but the result is drastically different. Why we are doing that action, for whom we are doing. On the border, the person is killing for the country, so he is rewarded. Paramveer Chakra mil gaya. And in the kingdom, in the country, if he kills one person, he is put in jail, he may be hanged. When we are working for the pleasure of the Lord, our actions, they don't give reactions. So that is the whole process of Krishna consciousness. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam, bodhavyam cha vikarmana, akarmanasya bodhavyam, gahana karmano gati. You can't understand कौन से कर्म का फल मिल रहा है. कॉमन क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं लोग. पता नहीं मेरे कौन से कर्म थे कि ऐसा फल मिल रहा है. ये कोई नहीं बता सकता कौन से कर्म थे. इसीलिए What is in our hand now? What we should do now. What can we do now? That's in our hand. Yes.
प्रभु जी यहाँ पे सुपर सोल को यमराज क्यों बोला जा रहा है?
नहीं सुपर सोल यमराज नहीं.
धर्मा यमराज और द सुपर सोल.
Okay, so Dharmaraj is also observing everything, and Yamraj and Supreme Lord is also there. So Super Soul is translated as Antaryami also, and Dharmaraj also has that power to see everything. There are some great devatas who are empowered to see all our actions. So that is what is described there also.
प्रभु जी इसमें अधिष्ठानम तथा कर्ता उसमें भी कर्मों से मतलब नहीं बनते जो when you surrender.
There are five factors which affect our actions. Not just our action, the place, the instruments, the endeavor, adhishthanam tatha karata, karanam, cheshta and daiva. Our destiny also affects. So whatever we have in our destiny we get. Sometimes we work so hard we don't get. Accept that, okay, it is not in my destiny. Sometimes we don't endeavor we get. Okay, it was there in my destiny. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jai Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe.
Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai.
Jai Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jai Gaura Nitai.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaure Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaure Hari Bol. पावन हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय।
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय।
प्रह्लाद हिरण्यकशिपूर्वक्षः शीलचन्द्रनकालये इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा। यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा। बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा। नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये। तव कर कमलवरेणका अद्भुत शृङ्गार। दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गा। केशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे। तव कर
कमलवरेणका अद्भुत शृङ्गार।
दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो
तनुभृङ्गा।
केशवदीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे। जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव। जय प्रह्लाद महाराज प्रह्लाद महाराज प्रह्लाद महाराज जय प्रह्लाद महाराज। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय सर्व विघ्न विनाशक लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय। भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Anyone who's come for the first time today to our programs? पहली बार आए हैं। हरे कृष्णा। Your good name? शैलेश जी। हरे कृष्णा। Thank you for coming. और कोई है? Okay, so we welcome Shailesh ji to our program and we pray to Radha Gopinath ji to bestow blessings on Shailesh Prabhu and family. We welcome him in our traditional style by loudly chanting 3 times.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
So we hope and pray that you keep coming and inspiring all of us. Hare Krishna. Thank you. महाप्रसादे गोविंदे
महाप्रसादे गोविंदे
नाम ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे
नम ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे
स्वल्प पुण्यावतम राजन
सर्वपुत्रवतं राजन्
विश्वासुनैव जायते
विश्वासुनैव जायते
शरीरा विद्याजा
शरीरा विद्याजा
जड़ेन्द्रियतहिका
इंद्रियतहिका
जीवे फैले विषय सागरे
जीवे फैले विषय सागरे
तार मध्ये जेवाति
तार मध्ये जेवाति
लोभ माया सुदुर्मति
लोभ माया सुदुर्मति साबरमती
ताक जेता कठिन संसारे
ताक देता करती हो संसारे
कृष्ण बड़ा दयामय
कृष्ण बड़ा दया में
हरि बारे जीव जाय
परिवारे जीव जा
स्वर्ग साधन दिलो भाव सैयदनामृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ
राधा कृष्ण
विमला को श्री चैतन्य निताय
विवेका को श्री चैतन्य देता
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैता गदाधर
अद्वैत गदाधा
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद
शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे
राम राम हरे हरे
जय श्री भगवत महाप्रसाद की जय
जय।
हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू